How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. Do you have a cold? Are you a little bit sick?
Yeah, I have sore throat because we ate early morning.
Okay. Well, hopefully it feels better throughout the day. And good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, and Julieta, welcome to class. Julieta, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Hi, teacher. Hi, Heidi.
Nice. Okay, and so Julieta, it's probably evening there. How's your day been?
Oh, was a nice day. I
Okay.
just relaxed and went out with my cousin.
Just relax and run out with your cousin. Awesome. That doesn't sound bad at
Mhm.
all.
Yes.
And Adela, welcome to class. Adela, how's it going? Adela, can you hear me? All right. Heidi, so what are your plans for today? Are you going to do anything exciting?
Yeah, New Year Day is approaching, so we need to clean up my house.
Yeah. All right. So is that pretty much what's on the plate for today?
It's Japanese custom. Before
Yeah.
New Year, we need to clean up everywhere.
Yeah. No, that's what you were saying before. So that'll be good. At least you'll have a clean house after. So- And so Adela, how's it going, Adela? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I heard you, but I couldn't to unblock the the
Microphone. Okay.
microphone. Yes.
Yeah. Understandable. It happens to the best of us. So how was your day, Adela?
Well, this afternoon I went to visit my daughter. Uh, I finished my dinner yet.
Nice. Okay. And Jose, welcome to class. Jose, how are you?
Hello, yes, you are fine. Thanks for asking. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Jose, what did you do today?
Yes, the day was fine. This afternoon, I went to visit my parents.
Okay. And how are your
Yes.
parents?
Sorry?
How are they? How are your parents? How are they doing?
Yes, fine. The day was fine.
Okay, cool. And Cesar, welcome to class. Cesar, how's it going?
Thank you.
And yeah, Cesar, what's going on? How are you?
Fine, thank you. This is my second verb in class, in fact.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you like it. This is actually a new class for me too. I just made this one.
Good,
So
thank you.
yeah. And Claudio, welcome to class as well. Claudio, how are you doing?
Oh, hi, Joshua. I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm doing well.
Nice. Okay, cool. And Claudio, what did you do today?
Well, today I went to the beach with my wife and I swim a little bit at the ocean and I have studied English since that I come back to my home.
Okay. Maybe we'd say
And
I
I heard
swam.
some music as well.
And what?
And I heard some music as well.
Okay. So you listened to the news, swam. Okay. Nice. And Cesar, I don't. Well, so it's your second verb in class. So Cesar, where are you from?
I'm from Spain, in Madrid now.
Okay. Nice. Madrid. And what do you do for fun? What do you like to do in your free time?
Well, relax. Today's Saturday and just relax at home. I wish to be there in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Yeah. So relax at your home. Cool. All right. And I guess let's get started with today's class. So we're going to be learning a little bit about Mark Twain. And let's start with Jose. Can you read the title in the next few lines?
Yes, Mark Twain. Today we will learn about Mark Twain, learn about his pen name, and discuss a number of his quotations.
Yeah, pretty much. So it'll be a day about Mark Twain. And Jose, can you read the first question? Can you ask the first question? Heidi, can you answer?
Yes. Do you like to read? Who is your favorite author?
Yes, I like reading books. Oh, my favorite author is Sidney Sheldon.
Somebody Sheldon?
Sidney Sheldon.
Okay.
Sydney.
Interesting. What kind of novels does Sydney write?
And stories change, always the story change quickly. So I can't stop reading.
Okay.
Like roller coaster.
Okay, so they're maybe like action stories, or they're
Successful stories.
popular fiction, maybe.
In many cases, the first they are very poor, but finally they become politician or actors or a rich person or something.
Okay, interesting. That sounds cool. And what about you, Julieta? Do you like to read? And who's your favorite author?
Yes, I like to read. Mm, My favorite author, I don't have one. My last book was Aleph.
The last book you read was what?
Aleph. Borges was the author.
Alice?
No,
Okay, I'm not sure. Maybe if you type it in the chat box.
yes.
Aleph. Aleph. Okay. Okay. Nice.
Mhm.
And yeah, I guess that's good. Let's have Julieta. Can you ask Claudio the next question?
Claudio, Mark Twain wrote a lot of satire. What is your favorite genre of literature?
Yeah, satire is the kind of genre that I like a lot, but I'd rather drama sometimes and police novels as well. I like a lot.
Drama and police novels?
Yes,
Okay. Maybe we call those crime novels generally.
crime novels. Okay, better. Thanks.
Okay. And I didn't hear the first thing you said, Claudio.
And I said I told that I liked satire as well.
Okay, I like satire. Satire.
Satire. Okay.
Yeah.
Satire.
Satire.
Satire. Okay.
Good. And Julieta, can you repeat satire?
Satire.
Yeah, nice job. And clases particulares in Santa Cruz de Tenerife. I'm sorry, what's your name? Okay, clases particulares. You just entered class. I'm not sure what your name is, though. I can't call you clases.
Nice to meet you. It is a pleasure.
Nice, it is a pleasure. And so, sorry, what's your name?
My name is Ariadna.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Can you hear me? Yes, all right. It is a strange name, okay? It's a Greek name, Ariadna, okay? We see.
Ariavana?
Yes, all right, Ariadna. It is my name.
Okay, nice to meet you, Ariavana. And where are you from?
I'm from Spain, in Canary Island. It is a group of small islands. Belongs Spain, and these are situated on the left side from Spain. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a general idea of where the Canary Islands are. Cool, and again,
Okay.
it's nice to meet you. Um, okay,
Okay.
and
Nice to meet
let's have Claudio. Can you ask Cesar the next question?
Okay. What do you know about Mark Twain?
Okay, I think he's an American writer. I think it's from the 19th century, I think. I'm not sure, and I've also heard his famous for his quotes.
Yeah, he's got some really famous quotes for sure. Actually,
Sorry?
yeah, he does have a lot of famous quotes, and definitely an American author. Okay, good. And so yeah, he died in 1910, so like the early 20th century.
Okay.
But awesome, yeah. Okay, and does anybody else have anything else that they can add to what we know about Mark Twain? Does anybody else know anything else?
He was a pilot in the Mississippi River.
The Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn adventure are famous.
Yeah, definitely. Those are his famous novels, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. And Julieta, oh,
I
sorry.
watched the cartoon. I watched the cartoon through the YouTube with some ideas of Mark Twain, and this cartoon was completely crazy.
Really?
Yes, and the funniest thing is that the cartoon was made to children, and but they the company denied that the cartoon was showed. I don't know.
The company denied that the cartoon was what?
Was showed to open television, like was shown. Yes, was shown to children.
Okay. I guess that sounds like a really crazy cartoon. I haven't heard of that one. We would say it was made for children. It's not made to children, but it's made for children.
It's made to children. To children.
No,
Maybe.
so we'd say made for children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But good. And Julieta, you said something? He was a pilot?
Yes, he was a kind of a pilot, a boat, or a fisherman. Don't remember that. On the Mississippi River.
Yeah, he was. He was a riverboat pilot worker on the Mississippi River for a long time, for sure. And that's kind of how he got his name, which we'll talk about. Okay, good. Does anybody have any questions or anything else to add? Okay, thanks for the video link too, Claudio. All right, let's go here and let's have Cesar. Can you read the title and the directions?
Vocabulary. Read the words. Asked about words you don't know. That's the title.
Good. Yeah, that's perfect. Really good pronunciation. Can you read the words as well?
A name, sequel, satire, setting, wit, prose, comprehension, interfere.
Good. Okay, so the only two things maybe sequel.
Sequel. Yeah.
And satire.
Satire.
Oh, so it's almost got 3 syllables. So we'd say satire. Satire.
Okay, satire.
Good. There you go. That sounds much better. Other than that, you did a really good job. Good pronunciation.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions about any of these words?
Yes. What does wit means?
Good. Does anybody know what's wit?
Yes, I guess what it means.
Okay.
Similar to witness, the verb of the wit. I wit something. I wit that murder. I wit
Ah,
that I know. I wit some experience. I'm not sure.
not quite. That was a good guess, though.
Which is
Sorry.
kind of smart or
Yes.
intelligence and almost case and a little old. And owl is a symbol of it.
Yeah. So we'd say it's more like intelligent humor. So
Mhm.
something is witty. It's either something that's it's beyond base. It's not a bad joke or a crude joke. It's an intelligent joke. So maybe it's not easily decipherable at first. But yeah, intelligent humor is wit. I think that's the most basic way to explain it. Okay, and any other questions? Okay, let's have Adela. Can you make a sentence with sequel?
With sequel. Maybe the writers sometimes have no write a book and they have a sequel that the history or the main character this the book or same to the films, no? Maybe
Yeah,
to follow the history in 2 or 3 films or 2 or 3 books.
yeah. So writers sometimes write a book and then they have a sequel with the same character and the same story. Yeah. And Ariavana, what about comprehension? Can you make a sentence with comprehension?
Okay, for example, pupils have a perfect comprehension about the lesson, I think.
Nice. About the lesson. Yeah, maybe we could just make it a little bit more specific and say the pupils have a perfect comprehension. Maybe instead of about the lesson, it might sound a little bit better with a different preposition. Ariavana, can you think of a different preposition?
On, I don't know.
Close. It starts with an O.
Mm, on, I think, but I don't know. Of the lesson. Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
yeah. And so they have a perfect comprehension about the lesson. It sounds just a little bit odd. I think they have a perfect comprehension of the lesson, would sound a little bit more fluid. But good, that
Okay.
was really nice. All right, and let's have, I guess we're all set. Let's go to the next page. And let's have Jose. Can you read the first paragraph?
Yes. Samuel Langhorne Clemens, better known by his pen name Mark Twain, was an American author and humorist. He wrote "The Adventures of Tom Sawyer" and its sequel, "Adventures of Huckleberry Finn". The latter is often called the "Great American Novel".
Good. Okay. Can you repeat adventures? Adventures.
Adventures, adventures, adventures,
Yeah, adventures.
adventures,
And
adventures.
then, good. Great.
Great,
Good.
great.
Perfectly
Okay.
done. All right. And Heidi, what do you think the great American novel is? What's that?
Uh-huh. Literally.
Well, so not literally, but as an idea. What do you think that would be?
great American novel, right?
Yeah. What's the great American novel? What do you think?
It's very good and very famous and popular.
Okay. Do you think it has to, have anything specific in it?
Maybe it will remain in the future.
It will remain in the future?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Only several novels remain in the future. People read and next generation, the next generation.
Ah, okay.
Many novels were forgotten. Only temporary famous novels or popular novels.
Okay, so it'll be a classic. It won't fade away.
Yeah, like Shakespeare or something.
Yeah. Okay, so it'll be a classic novel. It doesn't fade away, and it remains relevant in the future. It remains relevant in the future. Okay. And Jose, what's a pen name?
Pen name. It's a name used by a writer instead of their real name, no?
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, exactly. And let's go. And Julieta, can you read the next paragraph?
Twain grew up in Hannibal, Missouri, which provides the setting for Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer. After an apprenticeship with a printer, he worked as a typesetter and contributed articles to the newspaper of his older brother, Clemens. Orion. He later became a riverboat pilot on the Mississippi River before heading west to join Orion in Nevada. His wit and satire, in prose and in speech, earned praise from critics and peers, and he was a friend of presidents, artists, industrialists, and European royalty.
Okay, good. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Really good pronunciation. The only thing I would say, it's probably Orion.
Orion?
Yeah. And I could be wrong. I'm not sure how he pronounced his name, but I'd say it's probably Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think that's good. That's all pretty straightforward. Does anybody have any questions about anything on this page? Maybe let's have Claudia. What's an apprenticeship?
Apprenticeship means, oh, in the context, it seemed to mean like a first presentation,
like a first presentation?
Yes, I'm not sure about that.
Okay, that's okay. That's difficult. Maybe Ariavana, what do you think it means? What's an apprenticeship?
I think it is a beginner employee who who is learning a job, and he or she has a relationship with his or her new boss. I think it is my opinion about it.
Yeah. So usually it's a beginner employee who's learning the job, and generally they're not paid. They're just there to learn how to do the work. So they help out with all the work, but they're not paid. So generally that's an apprenticeship. Yeah. All right. And yeah. Okay. I think that's good. Let's have Ariavana then. Can you read his last little sentence?
Okay, he was lauded as the greatest American humorist of his age, and William Faulkner called Twain the father of American literature. Literature, I think.
Yeah, you can pronounce literature in a number of different ways. Literature. It depends on the person who's saying it. So that's a really varied word. Okay, and let's have Cesar. What's lauded? What does it mean to laud somebody?
Laud is to praise someone,
Yeah,
to talk high of someone.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, perfect. Talk highly of somebody. Does anybody have any questions on this page?
Yes, who is a peer?
A peer. Who knows? Cesar, can you answer? What is a peer?
Can you spell it? Oh, yeah. Peers is a kind of colleague, co-worker, right?
Yeah. So a colleague, a coworker, somebody who does the same thing as you, who is your professional equivalent, generally, would be your peer. Um, Sometimes you just say about people who are your own age would be peer. Yeah. Good description. Any other questions here? Okay. And so let's have Cesar. Can you ask the first question?
Uh, what is Mark Twain's most famous story?
I think the most famous story by Mark Twain, I think, is the adventure of Huckleberry Finn, or maybe the adventure of Tom Sawyer, because they are the life of the Mississippi River. This is the most known history, I think, or book, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the most well-known books by Mark Twain for sure. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn or The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. We need to
For
change
or
right.
no?
How do we change right?
Yes, I think write it.
Close. Does anybody know what we'd say?
Was written.
Written.
No, is
Written.
maybe.
It's an irregular one, so it ends it up being
Okay, okay. Yes, it's irregular. Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
That's it, I think.
Yeah, so the most famous story written by Mark Twain is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. All right, and do you know what it was about, Adela? Do you know what it was about?
I read. Yes, I read a lot of years. I read the Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. I remember something with Indian or in a cave, in a treasure. No, it's the same. I remember
Yeah, that sounds like Tom Sawyer.
very very interesting histories about these characters, two characters.
Yeah, and that definitely sounds like The
Yes,
Adventures of Tom Sawyer. There was an Indian, a cave, a treasure, for sure, and a group of boys, kind of a gang.
yes, yes.
Okay, good. And so let's
A
have.
girl, no? Maybe a girl in your village or something?
I'm actually not
I don't
sure.
know.
It's been a long
No?
time since I read
Or
Tom Sawyer. Yeah, I know more
I
about
remember.
Huckleberry Finn, but yeah, that's definitely Tom Sawyer. And Adela, can you ask Jose the next question?
Jose, where did Mark Twain grow up?
I think that Mark Twain um, grew grew up in Hannibal, Missouri.
Nice. Okay, really good memory. That was impressive. Um, okay, and yeah. Jose, can you ask Heidi the next question?
What were some of Mark Twain's jobs?
He worked on a newspaper company. Then he worked as a typesetter, and sometimes he wrote some articles for newspaper.
Yeah. He wrote some articles. You said for newspaper. We need something in between the article and the noun.
For the
Yeah. So you could use the article for the newspaper. I think it was his brother's. You could say his brother's newspaper as well to make sure. Yeah, the newspaper of his older brother, Orion. So, yeah, it was his brother's newspaper. Good job, Heidi. And there was one other job. Does anybody remember his other job?
Pilot.
Practice ship
Yeah, he was a riverboat pilot.
with a printer too, as a practice ship.
As a apprentice?
Apprentice, no, with a he works with a painter or a
I think it was a
printer, no?
typesetter. Yeah, so he was
Okay,
an apprentice
apprentice.
with a printer, and he worked as a
Okay.
typesetter. Oh, yeah, so apprentice with a printer. So, yeah, perfect. With a printer. He was a typesetter, and sometimes he wrote articles for his brother's newspaper. And he was a riverboat pilot. Good. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on this page? Okay. Let's go to the next page. Let's come back to that. Let's look at one of these quotations. And let's have Julieta. Can you read this quotation?
It is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt.
Okay. And this is a really bad quotation for an English class. But so, yeah, Julieta, what do you think about it? Do you agree or do you disagree? What do you think about this quotation?
Yes, it is. It suits well the humor and wit tongue of Mark Twain. Witty, yes,
Yeah, so we'd say it's a witty tongue of Mark Twain.
witty tongue of Mark Twain.
Maybe. I didn't hear what you said here.
I said it suits well the suitable. Okay.
Is that what you said?
I said suit well, but I
Okay.
don't know.
It suits. We'd say well at the end.
Okay. It
And
suits the humor and the witty tongue of Mark Twain well.
yeah, and so we can actually remove the second article, so this article kind of goes to both. So it's the humor and witty tongue of Mark Twain well. All right. And can you paraphrase it?
Uh, he he said it's better to shut up than to say stupid thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And to say stupid things. Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. There's a big truck outside of my house. It's like they know that it makes just the most amount of noise possible. I'm sorry, hold on one second. Yeah. Just, sorry. Um, okay, and maybe let's have Claudia. What do you think? Do you agree or do you disagree? What do you think about this quotation?
Yes, I agree. It's better. At least if you were stupid.
Excuse me? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Oh, I agree with this quotation, and at least if you are really stupid, it's better to be quiet. And if we don't know what to say, the best is to be quiet than say silly things, I
Hmm?
think. But sometimes can be different. Sometimes and the people have to hear some silly things to figure out a smart way to behave like or to and a smart idea.
Yeah, so sometimes people have to hear silly things before they can come up with a smart idea.
Yeah, it's like in a brainstorm.
Yeah.
Uh, you have
Yeah, I think
to
that's a
put out your silly things to figure out one of them can be changed to a good way to and a good idea.
yeah, definitely. I think that especially if you're learning different languages, it's always a good idea to start talking no matter what. So yeah, this doesn't have really anything to do with learning a language, but I think that was a good point too, Claudia. Really nice job. Welcome to class. Na, how are you?
Good.
Okay. And good. Does anybody have any questions or comments on this page? Okay, let's go back here. And let's have Ariavana. Can you read
Yes, Emma.
the role of the little boy? And let's have Cesar. Can you read the role of the tiger?
Okay. We're supposed to have this whole stupid book read by tomorrow.
Yep, 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 yep.
Okay. There, it's good to get that out of the way.
Reading goes faster if you don't sweat comprehension.
Where's the frisbee?
Good. Sweat. Can you repeat sweat?
Sweat comprehension.
Good. And Ariavana, we're supposed to have read. So read would be the past tense. Actually, it's the
Okay.
participle. So can you repeat read?
I have a mistake because it
Okay.
is past verb, I think. Past tense. And for this reason it's red, I think.
Excuse me?
Excuse me. I think it is red because it is past tense, and for this
Hmm.
reason, it is correct about it.
Yeah. So we're supposed to have this whole stupid book read by tomorrow. Good. All right. And so let's have Cesar. What do you think is happening here? What's happening in this comic?
Uh, the kid is not interested to read it, and he quickly gets rid of the book by flipping through the pages and throwing it away. He wants to play, go and play.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the tiger is um, saying the intelligent part, saying
Yeah.
that reading goes faster. You don't sweat comprehension,
What's
which
that mean?
I don't understand very much. You
Okay.
sweat comprehension, I think it's um, um, has some kind of irony.
Um, I don't think he's being ironic as much as he's being honest. Uh, Maybe who can explain that? So reading goes faster if you don't sweat the comprehension. Does anybody have any ideas about what that means? Okay, and sorry, welcome to class, Alejandro. There's some birds in your background, so I just muted you. So remember when you're talking to unmute yourself. But so reading goes faster when you don't sweat the comprehension. Maybe, Adela, what do you think that means?
I don't know exactly because if you don't have an effort, no, to have uh, reading, I don't know exactly, but sweet
Sweat.
is a hard effort, no?
Uh-huh.
When you have a hard effort to use it.
Yeah, so when you make
But
a lot of effort, you sweat.
you
Uh-huh.
sweat. I think is if you read very fast, is not sweat for this job, no?
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
maybe the comprehension is same. You can read only some page. I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, so what's comprehension?
Comprehension, I think, is to know very um, a lot the text or the book with attention
Yeah,
to have
it's like understanding. So
yes.
reading goes faster if you don't sweat the comprehension. So if you don't try at all, so if you don't sweat it, so when you don't sweat something, it's like you don't put an effort into it. So if you don't try to understand what's happening, reading goes really fast. So yeah, basically he just doesn't care about reading, and he doesn't care if he understands it, and so it goes really quickly. And have you ever done something like this? Okay. No, I'm not sure if you're there now. Alejandro, what about you? Have you ever done something like this?
Hi. No, I usually pay attention when reading.
Yeah. Usually pay attention while reading. Yeah, I do too. It's always been my favorite subject. Jose, what about you? Have you ever done anything like this? Just flipped through a book?
No, normally, I read slowly to understand the the writing.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So normally I read slowly to understand the writing. Generally a good plan. What about you, Heidi? Have you ever skipped through a book?
Yes. Once I traveled in Canada, I had a lot of dollars. When I took the plane to return, then I needed to use all dollars, Canadian dollars. I bought the last volume of Harry Potter. It's very thick. Then I brought it in my house, but at that time I couldn't speak English well. Then somehow I read the Harry Potter last volume. Then I couldn't understand well. Then 2 or 3 years later, I read the book again. Yeah, I understood.
Okay, nice. And so the first time you read it, you kind of just flipped through it and you didn't really understand it very well, so
Yeah.
you didn't sweat the comprehension.
But
Good.
sometimes I use it as a pillow.
It's a good pillow. It's a big book. Okay, good. I think that was great. Yeah, that's actually what I did with Spanish, which is funny, but good. Any questions here? Any questions on this page?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have one question. To
Yeah.
flip, it's also a verb, right? To flip is like
Yeah.
flip. Okay.
Yes. So this is kind of just like onomatopoeia. So you're saying flip, 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 just like the sound of the pages turning. But you can flip through pages, but you can also flip something over. So it's just turning something over. And so because pages are on one side, and then when you turn them, you have to flip them. So we can flip pages, we can flip like hamburgers, eggs, things like that, and just turn them over. Does that make sense?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. And let's go back and do some more reading. And I think we're on Giulietta. Can you read this first part?
Mark Twain was an old term used on the river. It meant 2 fathoms, or 12 feet, which indicated the safe water. It was like hearing music to the pilot and captain because it meant that a steamboat could make safe passage on the river at that point. Sam Clements would have been very familiar with the term, as he was a riverboat pilot.
Yeah. He would have been very familiar with the term. Can you repeat that?
Would have been very familiar with the term.
Good. And meant.
Meant.
Okay. Good. And Giulietta, can you paraphrase that? So what's it trying to say?
Mark Twain was a riverboat pilot, so he chose Mark Twain as a pen name because it's an old term used to measure the level of the water.
Good. Yeah, exactly. And let's have Claudio. Can you read the next paragraph?
Okay. St. Clements had first heard the term used for cemetery or wreathings, and from another pilot, an old rather unfortunate man that liked to tell the younger pilots of his knowledge of the Mississippi River. His name was Isaiah Sellers. He also liked to send bits of advice, knowledge, and opinion to local newspaper, and he signed them Mark Twain.
Good. Okay, only a couple small things with pronunciation. You did a good job. Signature.
Signature.
And
Signature. Okay.
nice. Opinionated.
Opinionated. Opinionated. Okay.
Good. And Isaiah.
Isaiah. Isaiah. Okay.
Yeah.
Isaiah.
Oh man, what am I doing? Isaiah. Okay. And yeah, Claudia, what's happening in this paragraph?
And it's about a man who used to sing like Mark Twain is his way to show his knowledge about the Mississippi.
Yeah. Okay. And so the name was used by another riverboat pilot. What's it mean? Sorry. Ariavana.
Okay.
Ariavana, what's it mean that he was opinionated?
Can you repeat, please?
Yeah, what's it mean that this man, Isaiah Sellers, was opinionated? What's opinionated mean?
Um, I don't know. I don't opinion.
Okay.
I think it is a critical man. I don't know.
Um, so critical, yeah, I think to some extent. Who can explain what opinionated is?
He maybe he had a belief, and he's stubborn. He don't change. He don't want to change his opinion.
Yeah, he doesn't, or he didn't want to change his opinions. Exactly. So he had beliefs and he didn't want to change them. That would be opinionated for sure. Okay, nice job, Heidi. And okay, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So this other man used the
Oh,
signature Mark Twain.
just a
Yeah,
question. Opinionated is matched to stillborn.
it's meant for what?
Stillborn, like stillborn. Tumblr,
Stillborn?
Stubborn.
Stubborn.
like
Yeah,
Tumblr. Stubborn.
yeah.
Tumblr.
So it sounds more like stubborn. So if you look
Stubborn.
in the chat box, it looks like that. Stubborn.
Stubborn. Okay,
Hmm.
stubborn. Okay.
Good. Okay. And so yeah, he definitely has beliefs. He doesn't want to change his opinions. He's very stubborn, dogmatic. That's a good word. Good job with that. Yeah. All right. And does anybody have any other questions on this page? Okay. And so yeah, a little extra information was this man. Mark Twain actually made fun of him for the other riverboat pilots. So he wrote a funny piece about Isaiah Sellers, and it was accidentally published. So Mark Twain didn't want it published, and Isaiah Sellers was actually really sad about it. And so he stopped actually sending in information signed to Mark Twain. When Isaiah Sellers died, Mark Twain actually took up the pen name as kind of like a tribute or maybe apology. I'm not really sure. I'm not Mark Twain, but I think he felt a little bit bad about it. Um, anyways, let's go on. Let's read this quotation. Ariavana, can you read the quotation?
Okay, I have never let my schooling interfere with my education.
Good. Can you repeat education?
Education.
Close. It's more like a Jew sound. Education. So instead of having that hard D, it's more of like a
Educate.
J, edu, education.
Okay, education. Okay, perfect. Very good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So again, just a really soft D. It's almost like education. But good. And so what do you think that means, Ariavana?
Um, I think it is the subject in the school. It is independent about the education of his life, I think. But I don't know which the sentence means.
Okay. So the subject in school is independent from the education of his life. Yeah, maybe we'd remove the article the. So the subject in school is independent from the education maybe in his life, we would say.
That's right.
Yeah. I think that's good. That's pretty generally exactly what it is. Cesar, can you explain it a little bit more? What else do you think it means?
It means that schools don't provide education, basically.
Yeah, education, basically. I don't think it's saying all the time, and maybe not education in general. I never let my schooling interfere with my education. So I think you're definitely on target, Cesar. Um, maybe Alejandro, can you add anything else?
Um, yes, it's like you can learn a lot in the school, but maybe you can you want more knowledge in other areas, and um, and that is what this person mean with his education.
Yeah, I think you're pretty much on cue. So you can learn a lot in school, and sometimes schooling is maybe negative too. So sometimes people become a little bit too dogmatic, using Adela's vocabulary word, or stubborn or opinionated, if they're, schooled too much or focused too much on schooling. Whereas education, the meaning is a little bit more broad. So your education is open. You can always continue it, and whether or not you're at school, even if school doesn't help or does whatever. Um, and so let's have Cesar. What do you think about that? Do you agree or do you disagree?
I basically agree. Schooling provides a good base, but you have to complete it with your personal experience in life. That's what completes the education, he means.
Yeah. Yeah, education. Okay. Maybe you have to complete it. We'd have to use the pronoun. Um, so you have to complete it, or you have to supplement it, perhaps, is another way of saying it. So unfortunately, we have just run out of time. I do have another class right after this. If you guys want to join that, I'd love to have all of you guys. Thanks for coming in. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
bye
you
bye.
very
Okay,
much.
bye.
Bye,
Bye,
thanks.
guys.
Thank you, bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye.